Please be seated. Distinguished guests and graduates, I would like to invite Uncle Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Wudri Malinul, everyone. Good morning. And Nalawa, welcome to Wallamata, country of the Wallamedigal people. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it, and so he enrolled his daughter, Bullangari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up by Governor Macquarie in 1815, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in more traditional times when clan groups were smaller and abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 250 years ago, he described the people he encountered as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They were naked, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no homelessness or rents. Armies were unheard of, as were forts, jails, or even fences. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then distributed through, according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. This is not a dream or an ideal, this is normal life for us. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. However, we are a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world, I like to believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good and we are naturally a happy people. I would ask, though, that you share your gifts with the rest of us, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that together we can put together a world we can be proud of and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective future. Thank you. Yano.
It is my pleasure to now introduce our Vice-Chancellor and President of Macquarie University, Professor S. Bruce Stoughton.
Well, thank you, Chris Tobin, for that wonderfully informative and warm welcome to country. It's terrific to have you with us here for such a meaningful start to our high ceremony today. Thank you for joining us today. Colleagues, guests, families and friends of our graduands, and most importantly, the graduating class yourselves. It is my distinct honour and pleasure to welcome you all here today for this graduation ceremony. I bring our graduands and your guests the greetings of our Governing Council of the University and the Chancellor, Dr. Martin Parkinson AC, who is not able to be here today since he's travelling overseas for professional reasons. I hope that today will be a very happy and memorable occasion for each one of you. Now, I did see as I came into the Michael Egan Graduation Hall today a number of small children and even a couple of tiny babies, and I want you to know that at graduations at which I preside, babies and children are always welcome. I'm a paediatrician by training. I've heard far worse noise in my consulting rooms than any number of children could make here. If the Chancellor were here, he is the former Secretary of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, and he has heard far worse rancour in the Cabinet room than any number of children could possibly make today. So we don't expect young children to stay still or be quiet for a graduation ceremony. I believe that all celebrations are enhanced by the presence of children. So kids, have a great time, run around, a bit of yahooing here and there. Please don't feel as though you have to take young babies out if they start to squawk a bit. It's perfectly acceptable. So everyone is meant to enjoy graduation. Today is a milestone day for each and every one of our graduates, and today we celebrate your wonderful achievements as you're about to graduate. Completing a degree is never easy. It requires an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you indeed have made many sacrifices along the way in the pursuit of your end goal. You've worked very hard to get to this point, and you should feel very proud of what you have accomplished. We as a university are also just as proud of your achievements, and I will be very pleased to be able to congratulate each and every one of you as you come across the stage today. Now, I do have a small request for our graduands today, especially those burly young football-playing men. I had hand surgery about 10 days ago, so please be gentle to the Vice-Chancellor with handshaking today. I got through yesterday. One young man about this tall just about did me in, so please be careful with the Vice-Chancellor's hand today if you'd be so kind. Now, I especially want to welcome the families and friends and supporters of our graduands here with us today as invited guests. The fact that you've been invited here today is proof positive that you have had a very important influence on the careers and journey of these graduating class folks through Macquarie University. So to our invited guests, family, friends, supporters, a warm welcome to each and every one of you as well. Now, graduands, you may not realise that you are about to participate in one of Europe's oldest social rituals. If you were to look back to, say, the year 1500 AD and look at how many social institutions origined in Europe were existent then that still exist today, there are about 60. If you leave aside the Roman Catholic Church, the parliaments of England, Iceland and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons or local government areas, all the rest are indeed universities. In fact, graduation ceremonies are much older than that. For more than 800 years, graduates have been donning gowns just like the ones you are wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this one. And since those earliest graduations, the ceremony has remained almost completely unchanged, a defining feature in the life of every university and its students. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all realise that Macquarie is not one of those ancient universities. In fact, we are just almost 60 years young. Though we are among the youngest universities in the world, we are proud to take part in this time-honoured traditional ceremony. We all know, however, that youth, I believe, does have its advantages. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We enjoy an enviable reputation for our leading research excellence, our engagement, our impact, and our educational programs. We're continually progressing by extending those research partnerships, our course offerings, and our facilities. And we have a proud tradition of innovation at this campus around discovery. And our pioneering approach is built upon the notion of a collaborative and connected learning community. It's a very exciting time for Macquarie University amid so much change around the globe as the vision for this remarkable campus continues to unfold. And graduands, you will have seen the remarkable transformation of this campus during your stay with us, albeit at a little distance during the last couple of years. We now have over 215,000 graduates spread across 140 countries around the world, and it's very clear that we are a forward-looking institution and on the move, and so are all of our graduands. Some of the things that we all value about Macquarie University, I believe, will never change. Over my almost 10 years having the great privilege of leading this university, many visitors have remarked to me about the friendliness of our welcome and the inclusiveness of our community of staff and students here at Macquarie University. This is inherent to our culture, and I anticipate it will always be so. Remember, graduands, you will always be welcome back at Macquarie University. Macquarie will always be a leader in teaching and learning, and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. However, our collective journey is about building community, where we have shared values, where we share many aspects of day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month life, and where we care about each other, even when we might have quite divergent views about a whole range of subjects. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, my academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly, our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University on this grand occasion. In just a few moments, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you into that community of scholars as lifelong members that we proudly call Macquarie University. It is also our great pleasure today to honour, in accordance with a resolution of the University's Governing Council, Emeritus Professor Rosalind Croucher AM, for admission to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa of Macquarie University. I now invite Professor Mariella Herberstein, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, to please read the citation. Professor Herberstein.
I invite Emeritus Professor Rosalind Croucher AM to stand for the citation. Emeritus Professor Rosalind Croucher is widely recognized for her leadership in law in Australia. She was an outstanding leader of Macquarie Law School for 7.5 years, has advanced legal reform and human rights in Australia, and has been an ardent supporter of women's progress in the legal profession. After an early career as a musician, Emeritus Professor Croucher began her academic career at Macquarie University in the early 80s. Following periods at the University of New South Wales and the University of Sydney, including in senior leadership roles, she returned to Macquarie as Dean of Macquarie Law School in 1999. During her time as Dean, Emeritus Professor Croucher made it her mission to build the reputation of the law school in the legal profession and the judiciary, and by 2007, Macquarie Law School was ranked 8th nationally among law schools, guided by the stability, mentoring, and research leadership she demonstrated. In February 2007, Emeritus Professor Croucher was appointed to the Australian Law Reform Commission, first as Commissioner, then President from 2009 to 2017. In that role, she led significant law reform inquiries, including on client legal privileges, secrecy law, family violence, discovery, age barriers to work, disability laws, encroachment of freedoms in the Commonwealth laws, and elder abuse. In July 2017, she was appointed President of the Australian Human Rights Commission. Emeritus Professor Croucher is an Honorary Fellow of St Andrews College, Honorary Fellow of the Australian College of Legal Medicine, Foundation Fellow of the Australian Academy of Law, and an Honorary Life Member of the Women Lawyers Association of New South Wales. In 2011, Emeritus Professor Croucher was recognized as one of the 40 inspirational alumni of UNSW, and in 2016, Macquarie University conferred on her the title of Emeritus Professor. In 2014, Emeritus Professor Croucher received the Australian Women's Lawyers Award for her outstanding contributions to the legal profession in supporting and advancing women in the legal profession. And she was acknowledged for her contributions to public policy as one of Australia's 100 Women of Influence in the Australian Financial Review and Westpac Awards. She was appointed a member of the Order of Australia in 2015 for her significant service to the law, as an academic, to legal reform and education, to professional development, and to the arts. In 2019, Women Lawyers Association of New South Wales honoured her with a Lifetime Achievement Award. It is therefore very fitting to recognise Emeritus Professor Rosalind Croucher at today's ceremony with the award of this degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa in recognition of the contributions she has made to human rights, to the advancement of women, to the Macquarie University community, and to law in Australia. Vice-Chancellor, I'm pleased to present Emeritus Professor Rosalind Croucher, AM, for admission to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Emeritus Professor Rosalind Croucher, AM, in the name of the University Council and by my authority delegated from the Council, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. I now invite Emeritus Professor Ros Croucher to please deliver the occasional address.
Vice-Chancellor, colleagues from the law school, friends, family, senior academics of the university, graduands, it's so lovely to be here in front of you today. Graduations are such a special moment, not just in a university calendar, but of course in your lives. May I begin my address by paying my respects to the elders past, present and emerging of the Darug people, the traditional custodians of the land on which this fine university sits, and I particularly acknowledge any Indigenous graduates and guests attending today. Being here today brings back so many memories of Macquarie for me. I was a member of staff of the law school at Macquarie twice. First in the early 1980s, and then from 1999 to 2007. So Macquarie provided the formal bookends in my academic career before I moved into government roles. I would like to share some memories from both my Macquarie chapters for my remarks today. In the summer of 1981 to 1982, I was interviewed by Macquarie Law School for a position of tutor, the then bottom of the academic ladder. I hadn't planned on an academic career at all, as I had been working with a law firm and imagined a career at the bar, like my father, who then went on to a career of 27 years on the bench, and at the age of 100 and 105 days, we celebrated his life with his funeral on Saturday. But for me, the birth of my first child precipitated a change in the pathway. I was utterly clueless as a first-time mother, I will confess, openly before all of you. In going for that interview here, I was terribly nervous. Although I had, as has been revealed, been a professional musician and had done the whole audition thing in that role, this was my first proper interview for a job. But during the interview, my right foot, wrapped tightly behind my left, had gone to sleep. And on attempting to stand, I nearly fell flat on my face. Nonetheless, I got the job. When I think back on it, it was a curious appointment and demonstrated, I think, a most lateral approach to hiring. Having sat on academic selection committees now for many, many years, my extraordinary good luck in securing that position becomes more strongly etched on my consciousness. At the time, I did not yet have a higher degree, although I did have an honours degree in history, which evidenced researchability. What I had was teaching experience in music. I had taught at a residential summer school in early music to a group aged from 17 to 70 years of age. This particular experience evidently demonstrated a capacity for teaching distance students. The subject was different, but the capacity was there. It was quite an enlightened approach to appointments. For me, it was a blessed beginning on a most fulfilling academic career. I took to the classroom like the proverbial duck to water. I loved law students from the first day I went into that classroom until the day I left, and I feel that I still have many, many faces like law students before me, not just today, but in all the roles I have in life. The early realisation for me was that it was really hard, really tough, but I only needed to be 5 minutes ahead of the students. That helped me as I found my way. And I loved the way that Macquarie approached legal education. My own undergraduate legal education at Sydney University in the 1970s had been a limited, conventional one. The richness of my studies came through my study of history, so it was later doctoral study in legal history that joined the dots in my intellectual education. In the 1970s, new law schools came on the scene, with University of New South Wales in 1971 and Macquarie Law School in 1975. They seized the opportunity of doing things differently. The new law schools used the opportunity of the blank canvas to differentiate themselves from traditional law teaching, looking at how law functioned rather than the long-established textbook categories. Macquarie Law School was committed to the study of law in a social context, rethinking the curriculum, rethinking the way that law was taught, seeing academics as potential influencers of change in the interests of social justice. It was an exciting time for me, and indeed everyone. The law school website still proudly proclaims that, as a pioneer of interdisciplinary law study in Australia, Macquarie prepares you to look beyond law as a set of rules and procedures. You'll be challenged to think around problems and provide more innovative solutions, and, added in for good measure, skills highly valued by employers. However, the excitement of the 70s was not always positive. A national review of law schools in the late 1980s recommended that Macquarie Law School either be phased out or radically restructured. Macquarie's then Vice-Chancellor, Professor Di Yerbury, and the senior administration stood by its commitment to the law school, and Macquarie law prevailed. And here you all are now. but it was a most challenging time. The bookend for me was returning to Macquarie as head of the Division of Law in November 1999. I changed my title to Dean, a practice which was later legislated throughout the university, as well as rebadging the school as Macquarie Law. It was then down to work and I put my heart and soul in it. Having spent the intervening years teaching at University of New South Wales in Sydney, what I saw in you as Macquarie students was something different. That Macquarie provides a real university life, and what your law school gave you was special. In 2005, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the law school in party, indeed in this room, in spirit and in a book, which I called Retro, as shared recollections of Macquarie Law students. Macquarie also gave me someone special. On the 14th of December 2001, I attended a special lunch to acknowledge the then outgoing Chancellor, Tim Besley, who had indeed been one of my own students in the distance law program in the early 1980s. I was placed on the head table. After chatting to Mr. Besley for most of the lunch, as one would expect in the circumstances, I then started chatting to the chap on my left, who was being awarded a special award by the university, the inaugural University Community Outreach Award. That was Professor John Croucher, now Emeritus Professor of Macquarie University, one of its originals in the very first student cohort of graduates, and one of its longest-serving academics and most acknowledged and awarded teachers in Australia. On the 27th of March 2004, we were married by the lake that you passed on the way in and have not stopped chatting since. And today, he still sits on my left. In November 2006, just before I moved into government roles, the Melbourne Institute of Applied Economic and Social Research did indeed rate Macquarie Law as the highest of the non-Geo8 universities. It was a peer-reviewed study of academic standing using both qualitative and quantitative measures. In that moment, I felt that I had repaid the faith that Macquarie had placed in me over 20 years before. Career paths are formed through a wonderful conjunction of twists and turns, opportunities, filled also with lots of life experiences. And speaking to you today on the day of your graduation, I can assure you that career paths are not an inevitable straight line and really only make sense backwards. Quite apart from what you have learned, your university has trained you how to think. Using that skill wisely may lead you to achieve in the real sense in life. It may lead you to become fine professionals. It may lead you to question and challenge things in public life. It may also lead you to survive when all you have left about you is your wits. But above all, be the curious, passionate global citizens that your law school aspires for you to be. Thank you again, Vice-Chancellor, for honouring me today, and congratulations to all of you in the fab hats today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, there we have, in the finest traditions of the occasional address at graduations, a wonderful speech from Emeritus Professor Ros Croucher, with good advice for our graduates there along the way. And I want to just re-amplify one thing that she said a moment ago, and that is about using the skills of how to think. And I would suggest that's one thing. But Emeritus Professor Croucher added on one word: wisely. Using the skills of how to think wisely will serve you very well, not only in your professional careers, I believe, but also in many avenues of life. I think she deserves another great round of applause. Thank you. As Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, I always look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees upon those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. I now call upon our Acting Registrar, Professor Dominique Parish, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for those awards. Professor Parish.
Vice-Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
Yes, that's you. Yes. In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority delegated from the Governing Council, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees and diplomas for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Arts. I now call on Professor Martina Mollering, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to present the graduates. Professor Mollering.
Vice-Chancellor, students and staff in this faculty work together within and across disciplinary boundaries to ask questions about socially complex problems. They identify paths of research, analyze and communicate ideas in creative formats, and reflect on the skills and knowledge they will need to understand the world, past, present, and future. Students are encouraged to use their skills and talents to connect with local and global communities. This faculty includes research and study areas in ancient history, anthropology, English, geography and planning, Indigenous studies, international studies, law, media, music, communication and cultural studies, modern history, politics and international relations, philosophy, sociology, and security studies and criminology. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Arts whom you have admitted to degrees or awarded diplomas. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Media, with the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Honours First Class. Jessica Isaura Campbell. Jacinta Kate Casellos. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Media with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours. Dalia Al-Hash Qasim. Emma Jade Forrest. Emma Jane Wallace. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours First Class. Joanna Maria Chapko. Kayvan Dorostka. Hannah May Duque. Kane Elder. Joanna Olive Endicott. Pelin Ersoy. James Kennedy Zongshan Gray. Sarah Jean Hinnehoek. Samuel Mart. Georgia Elizabeth Murray. Anjali Amandya Nadarajane. Emily Joy Powell. Shelby Sonali Tsewok. Claudia Thorne. Benjamin William Tennell. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours. Katie Maria Hearn. Isabel Mary Joanne Alder. Emma Kate Buchholz. Melissa Jane Camp. John Cotter. Imogen Jane Cox. Olivia De Paris. Holly Eastway. Alexandra Maria Etzel. Julian Favero. Jack Heil. Najmi Jaber. Grace McIntosh Kessling. Sukran Bengisu Messini. Isabel Messenger. Patrick Ryan O'Brien. Amelia Jane Proudlove. Sean Elizabeth Sykes. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Honours First Class. Abby Marie Cooper. Kim Colleen Ayatid. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours, Christina Margaret Sutherland O'Brien. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours, Madison Claire Chaplin. My apologies. I present to you Andrea Pratap, who graduates with the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours. Andrea. And now I check. Yes? Madison Claire Chaplin. Congratulations. Adam Refi. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Security Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours First Class. Emily Jane Gamarov. Christine Palenzuela. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Security Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours. Michela Emmy Müller. Stephanie Marie Mulholland. Emily Rich. Emilia Turnbull. Alexander Wall. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours First Class. Sarah Emily Krogh. Emily Irwin. Monique Messenger. Shannon Claire Walsh. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours. Hannah Frances Darwell. Brittany Taylor. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Gillian Griffith. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours First Class, Jacob Hamilton. Corey David Sloan Miller Powell. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws Honours. Manus Chauhan. Tanis Nahir. Carl Jack Smith. Colin Yuan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Media with the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Nicole Jade Kearney. Keely Mineke Howard McDermott. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Tasnim Nasiba Ali. Denzel Kavestani. Karina De Leon. Jessica Esser. Jonathan Yogaklis. Emma Mary Gleason. Amy Isabel King. Alicia Macarone. Madeline Claire McLean. Angela Makreska. Chloe N. Clara Middleton. Hanin Naji. Patrick Phelan. Sydney Ellen Smith. Braitil Sulaiman. Tiffany Trong. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws, Shreya Segal. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Amanda Priya Shalu. Alec Zhao Kalpen. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Security Studies with the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Daniela Noemi Fuentes. Isil Oskatal. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Christina Sia. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, James Kennedy Benson. Theresia Leonard. Reza Rayan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Alina Akram. Zainab Alawi. Mohammed Ayad. Rebecca Badra. Anthony Bayliss. Nancy Carr. Chloe Lawrence Harter. Anthony Eric Mannering. Michael James Moses. Jennifer N. Mota. Joel Michael Savage. Stacey Ann Shepherd. Chloe Glenda Underwood. Paige Megan Elise Wilson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Juris Doctor. Jana Clara Baugerald. Alice Tegan Brennan. Tara Louise Corcoran. Maximilian Melchior Karl-Marie de Rode. Chin Fung Barton Lau. Stephen Penzo. Zhenxing Shi. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of International Law, Governance and Public Policy, Katrina Maria Corey. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Trade and Commerce Law, Le Kim Phuoc Nguyen. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Laws, Pamela Bachur. Piraya Tipapakon. Vice-Chancellor, a higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is research. Our Master of Research is a 2-year full-time equivalent research training degree consisting of research-based coursework, postgraduate research training, and a major research project. Graduates have focused on a specific research topic to produce a thesis of up to 20,000 words in preparation to a doctoral degree. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Sylvia Louise Bell for a thesis entitled, "Could a quota system for publicly listed Australian companies assist progress towards gender equality for directors on boards? A study of principles, legislation, policies and practices." Sylvia Louise Bell. The Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to graduates who have demonstrated the capacity to conduct research independently by forming a distinct contribution to the knowledge of the subject and to afford evidence of coherence and originality shown either by the discovery of new facts or by the exercise of independent critical power. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Catherine Dale Greentree for a thesis entitled "The Royal Prerogative Powers of the Executive Government in Australia, Past, Present and Future." Dr. Sheikh Salahuddin for a thesis entitled "The Enduring Legacy of the Doctrine of Discovery, a comparative critique of the Dakota Access Pipeline in the USA, the South Sea Dam in Canada, and the Adani Mine in Australia." Vice-Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Arts.
Vice-Chancellor, I call on Dr. Catherine Greentree, who graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Greentree.
Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, fellow graduates and guests. I would like to acknowledge the Wadawurrung clan of the Darug Nation as the traditional owners and ongoing custodians of this land on which we meet today, whose cultures and customs have nurtured and continue to nurture this land since the Dreamtime. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who are here today. It is with honour and great pleasure that I speak now on behalf of the graduates today, particularly because I have the great privilege of having taught some of you myself. We've waited a long time for this moment, but it is finally here. I have to admit, I almost wasn't going to come today. You see, my PhD was actually awarded back in February 2021, and a lot has happened in the last 2 years since I submitted. I got married twice. Same person, but different COVID restrictions. You know how it's been. I just had a baby. I bought a house. The bank bought a house and I get to live there. It seemed like maybe graduation didn't matter anymore. But then I was reminded by loved ones and colleagues that we all are deserving of the acknowledgement of what we've achieved. We've been through a lot. The hours that we spent, the tears that we shed, the sleep that we lost, so much sleep, the snacks we practically inhaled, the coffees that have now replaced the blood in our veins. the words that blurred together on the page, the Netflix binges, which some people might call procrastination, but which we know were necessary mental health breaks. Episodes of Schitt's Creek and reruns of The West Wing were practically therapy sessions. The time with family and friends that we missed, hoping that it would be worth it in the end. And it was. Today, we get to celebrate our academic achievements and get to thank our loved ones who supported and encouraged us. So on behalf of all of the graduates, I want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our friends and family who helped us to get where we are today. Many are sitting here in this room. Many are watching via the live stream if they figured out how to use the technology. Others are with us in spirit. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the academic and professional staff at Macquarie University who educated and guided us. Thank you for your passion and commitment to our learning and for expanding our minds and hopefully also our hearts. I hope you will indulge me for just a moment because I'd like to use this opportunity to thank my mum Tonya and my dad Wal for being the greatest cheerleaders that anyone could ever ask for. From my first day of kindy when I was 4 years old, they made me believe that I could do anything that I set my mind to. To my husband Clinton, who's holding my baby up the back, thank you for the support that you've given me. And especially to my mentors and supervisors, Dr. Margaret Kelly, Dr. Francesca Dominello, and Dr. Joel Harrison, who challenged and inspired me. I know that we've all been inspired by our experiences here at Macquarie. As graduates, we now have the great fortune of being able to apply the knowledge and the skills that we've acquired here to make of our futures what we will. And sure, the world is a little bit of a different place now. These are challenging times, but they're exciting times too. To quote Ellen Montgomery, who gifted us with the literary heroine Anne Shirley Cuthbert, tomorrow is always fresh with no mistakes in it. I mean, we're going to make some. But tomorrow holds such possibility. And as for today, well, today is a day for celebration. Congratulations to all of you. You did it, and all the very best of luck. Thank you.
Well, Catherine, congratulations again on your doctoral degree today with all of those other intervening things in life that have gone on for you. It just shows the incredible resilience of the human spirit. And Dr. Greentree's remarks there about gratitude, very important part for all of our lives today, and I would urge our graduates to be giving thought to that. Let's give her another great round of applause. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go off script for just one moment here. And I'm going to invite one of our new graduates who has a wonderful little child. My eyesight tells me I think it's a little girl down the back wearing academic regalia. And I would like that graduate to come up with their son or daughter for a photo opportunity. Whose little one is this? Is there a graduate that has this little one? There must be. Right. Please. This little one has been itching to come walking down the red carpet. There is a very bright future ahead of this child. Bye-bye now. Angela, thank you for the interruption.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful operatic voice belongs to Ms. Angela Brewer, who is also the CEO and Artistic Director of Coast Opera Australia. And graduates, you are very lucky to have Ms. Brewer coming to sing at graduation today. She comes along to most graduations. The Emeritus Chancellor, Michael Egan, used to note that, and he would say that if Angela on the odd occasion couldn't come, he would do the singing. Now, I never made that offer, and you should be very lucky about that. He actually had to sing one day, but that's a story for another day. Let's give her another great round of applause. Please join me also in thanking University organist, Ms. Heather Mowen-Boyd. And on the trumpet, Mr. Bruce Helmers. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the representatives from our alumni community who come along as volunteers to help make sure today runs smoothly for you. Thank you for being here. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end of your association with us. From today onwards, you are part of that larger Macquarie family. As I mentioned earlier, our alumni network, now well in excess of 200,000, spanning around the entire globe, welcomes you to the fold. This is the beginning of the rest of your lives. We will look forward to seeing you back on campus, perhaps for more study, to attend alumni events, or just to visit our beautiful campus and reminisce about the good times you have had here as our students. Now, graduates, the award of a university degree brings many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, in my view, it also carries responsibilities. I urge you to commit yourselves to lifelong learning and inquiry. I urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. I urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you this far. At Macquarie, we pride ourselves on developing each and every one of our students into engaged community citizens and leaders. So I urge you to always give thought to what you can do for others along the way. You don't have to do very much sometimes to make a very big difference, a real difference in someone's life. Sometimes a kind gesture or a kind word can mean an enormous amount to a fellow traveller. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and your wisdom to those you meet along life's journey. My hope is that as Macquarie University graduates, you will use what you have learned not only for your own benefit, but for the betterment of your communities near and far. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. It's also my great hope that you will always remember the people who have helped you out along the way, many of whom are with us here today. So to acknowledge their contribution and indeed to thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things for me, graduates. Would you first of all please stand? Now I'd like you to turn around and place your testimonies on your seats behind you and face your families and friends and give them a mighty round of applause in appreciation. Now you might turn around, but don't sit down just yet. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you throughout your journey. Please join me in thanking them. Now, graduates, please turn around and pick up your testimonies. I would not like you to leave those behind. The official party will soon leave the Michael Egan Graduation Hall, followed by the graduates. As we do, our organist will play the traditional recessional music of graduation ceremonies, which has been played at ceremonies just like this one over centuries. This music, set to an age-old set of Latin lyrics, begins as Gaudeamus igitur, dum sumus juvenes. That translated means this, therefore let us rejoice, for we will always be young. This song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and of old age at the very same time, the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of city, of state, and indeed of happiness. Now might I ask everyone to please stand. Shortly I will lead the official party out to be followed by the graduates. I also invite all of you to join us for some light refreshments around that way as soon as we exit the graduation hall. Again, to the newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for your lives to be filled with satisfaction, success, and most importantly, happiness. In closing today's wonderful high celebration of your achievements, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, therefore let us rejoice.